We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft.
12 miles to the east of Denver is the scene of a shooting this morning. Police there were called shortly after midnight.
What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Red Flag Media. And I know I've been away for 2 weeks. Reason being, YouTube shut me down for 2 weeks. I had 2 strikes on my channel. Still have 2 strikes on my channel, but they did lift the ban. I do have quite a lot to share with you that I've been going over in the time that I've been off, so I'll probably be putting out regular uploads from now. But I just first wanted to go over some of the things that have happened since in the 2 weeks that I've been away. You guys saw the Unilad interview that I did. Well, you know, the media got a hold of it and have been, you know, running it through their normal cycle. Here's an article from Techly, which is talking about me, and it's pure slander. Here's an article from The Independent, which is talking about the flat earth and is pure slander. Here's an article from IFL Science, which is talking about the flat earth, and it's my interview, and it's pure slander. And here's an article from the Metro, which, you know, is unbiased, fair reporting, and gives both sides an equal shake. No, it's pure slander. But mostly, I'll leave those in the show notes. I'll leave the links to those articles in the show notes. But mostly, they took the interview that, you know, the 7-minute interview that I showed on my channel, which is actually already cut down from the 45 minutes I spent in the room. And here's my Facebook. You can add me if you want. I wanted to leave my Facebook all about, you know, like promoting battle rap and stuff like that. But yes, it's just like got out of my control now. So you can add me if you want. Here is the interview they released to Facebook, which is not only condensed from the 45 minutes to the 7 minutes, but it's now been condensed again to 2 minutes. Which is great. Quite a lot of people have seen it, as you can see there. But hopefully it gets some people to look a little bit further, as they didn't really get many of my points out, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to talk about, mostly, this documentary here. Coming out in 9 days, 10 hours, 37 minutes, and counting. A lot of people in the YouTube community are talking about this documentary, and a lot of people are, in my opinion, putting a lot of eggs in this basket. And I'm not going to say anything definitive here. I'm not going to say this is what it's going to be. This is definitely what they're aiming for. I'm just going to bring some information to the table that I don't see being brought anywhere else about the people behind said documentary. Now, I did this research a little bit, maybe a week and a half ago, and I wasn't able to put it out straight away. But here on their website, they talk about, let's go down to their About Us. They talk about the Tequila Research and Ziggurats Technology Center. They say this headquarters is in Brazil, and it operates in astronomy, quantum physics, technological innovations, engineering. Says all this. It says they have their researchers tab up here, but actually if you click on it, it doesn't go into who's involved at all, which to me was a bit of a red flag, and so it led me to do a little further investigation. Because as you see here, it says researchers of CTZ, it's scientists and other invited researchers. That's as far as it goes, so I had to have a little look. And here is the Tequila Research website, particularly on their page about their founder. Their founder's name is Yurandir Fernandez de Oliveira. As you can see here, researcher and ufologist. Ufologist. Now that would have been quite nice to have put out on the front of this page, wouldn't it? If you haven't already seen their teaser trailers, you know they say, oh, the solar system may not even exist. Well, ufology and the solar system kind of go hand in hand here. Now, let me read a little bit of what it says here, if Google's not going to get in the way. Yurandir Fernandez de Oliveira, the paranormal and ufologist, known in the midst of ufology as UFO, as they are the initials of his name. Interesting. He is the founder of Tequila Research, which today consists of hundreds of researchers conducting research in various areas such as geology, biology, geography, physics, paleontology, and others. One of the main goals of Tequila Research is to explain unknown phenomena that are often attributed to ufology. Now, it's saying one of the main goals of this research company behind this documentary is ufology, and yet it's nowhere on this page. That's just alarm bells ringing to me. But this is where it gets interesting as far as I'm concerned. These are direct quotes or paragraphs written with direct quotes from the President Yurandir himself. I hope I'm saying that name right and not butchering it. But during his childhood, Yurandir coexisted situations that went unnoticed, but that continued to happen during his adolescence, being his initiation in ufology. Now, keep in mind, this is translated from Portuguese, so it reads pretty clear, but it might not be exactly as it's saying. But it's quoted here saying, "In the beginning, they were voices. I heard them without knowing where they came from. It started at the age of 9. I also felt the presence of someone next to me. Sometimes I saw figures. These events were repeated again throughout his childhood. Over time, Yurandir may realize that his emotional condition would also be capable of generating events, unexplained phenomena. Depending on my emotional state, when I came near to an appliance, there was some interference. For example, in the tuning of the radio or television. There was also cutlery that bent into his hands, which helped him to realize that these facts only happened to him, since no one in his family could do the same. As these events were marking his life, Yurandir always treated the facts with normality. It was normal for me. It did not bother me," he says. In one night, Yurandir can watch on television the paranormal Uri Geller bending and breaking objects with the force of thought. Quote, "I associated the facts and understood that through positive thinking, I could manipulate matter and interact with the thoughts of other people, and that this was not a commonplace thing." So, it goes on to talk about his first contact when he was 13, with intelligences of other worlds, was at the age of 13. He's talking about how he has a scar in his neck from an implant that aliens put into him, and that guided him along his journey. In fact, there's a quote here, if I can find it, that he talks about how the aliens told him to use his powers for good. Now, I'm not judging him. I'm not telling him, that he may not have had these experiences. We already know what extraterrestrials actually are. It doesn't seem that he thinks along those same lines, having said that other worlds thing, and being guided by said entities. Is a little bit of a problem if you're going to take this seriously, if you're going to take what he's talking about seriously. Now, this is just the president of this company. Whether or not that reflects on all his researchers, whether or not he wanted to leave the ufology out of it intentionally because he's come up with new ideas that conflict that, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what to expect from it. I guess in 9 days we'll find out. But I just thought that this should be a heads up to those people who are leaning on it and expecting it to be something that's going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that this is true. Just because it has quote-unquote real scientists involved, that it's going to be 100% the truth. I think we should just be aware of that going into it. But it will still be interesting to see what comes of it nonetheless. I've got plenty more I need to show to you, but I will save them for other videos, and I will see you on the next one. Red Flag Media, I am out.